All right, Kell Brook. Okay, now I seen this fight against Rabchenko a couple weeks back, and it was a good performance. You know, it was a good comeback win. Um, Nothing surprising though. Okay, because the thing about Kell Brook, when you've been watching him for a long time, like the way I have, he's normally gonna stop guys on this level. Okay, that's what he does. Okay, it's the only people that he's not knocking out are the people that are elite fighters. You know, like Sean Porter, like Errol Spence, like those guys. You know, um, but outside of that, he's gonna stop guys like this. You know, look at his three title defenses that he had at 147 before fighting Golovkin. You know, he fought Kevin Bizier, he fought Frankie Gavin and JoJo Dan. Those guys, he stopped them easily. You know, that's what he does. He's a good boxer. He has good power. That's what Kell Brook does. Okay, but now that he's at 154, he has new dangers up there. You know, you have Jamel Charlo up there. You got Jared Hurd up there. You have Eris Landy Lara up there. You know, and the only guy I see, the only title holder that I see him really beating is Saddam Ali. You know, that's the only one. And even in that fight, I don't think it would be an easy fight. You know, I don't think it would be easy. But I think he can beat Saddam Ali. But these other guys at 154, I'm not really too sure. You know, and I don't think he's going to fight any of them at 154 as far as the title holders. I don't think he's going to fight Charlo right away. You know, I don't think he's going to fight the winner of Hurd and Lara and stuff, you know. And I just don't think, I can't see him doing it. You know, but the dangers at 154 are worse. These fights are tougher because not only, you no longer have the size advantage that you did at 147. You know, you're not a bigger 154 fighter. You know, you were big at 147, but you're not big at 154. You know, you damn sure wasn't big at 160 from when you fought Gennady Golovkin. You know, and Golovkin wasn't even the biggest guy at 160. You know, this is the guy, this is the same dude that was saying that he was willing to come down to 154 to fight Canelo and Floyd at one point. You know, but let's get back on track here. Errol Spence. I see him. I see what he's saying about Errol Spence now. You know, he wants a rematch. He says he can beat him at 154. You know, he's saying that he was weight trained when they fought. You know, possible. I mean, you did go up to 160 and decided to come back to the 147 to defend your title, but you made the weight. You actually look good. You look strong when you made the weight. The thing I have a problem with Kell Brook, and this is my issue. Now, no one told you to go to 160 to fight Golovkin. All right, no one told you to go up and do that. That was suicide. You know, your promoter gave you the okay to do it. I didn't think it was a good idea. Most of us didn't think it was a good idea. And you left there with a broken eye socket. All right, and you fight Errol Spence, a guy that I don't think you really wanted to fight, but you didn't want to vacate your title. You know. You was trying to seek a lot of other fights in between. You know, he was trying to get the Amir Khan fight going. You were talking in interviews saying that, Errol Spence wasn't a cash cow and nobody knew who he was. So those are things that we got from you before that fight was signed and sealed. Okay? But you took the fight and you did well. You know, you did well. Kell Brook, regardless of who you thought was going to win or whatever, Kell Brook did well in that fight. He did. It was a good fight. He showed a lot of heart. I know he got stopped. He quit. But he had another broken eye socket. And going into that broken eye socket, you know, I seen him in an interview recently talking about Errol Spence. And he's like, well, I couldn't see. I'm like, dude, you couldn't see because you got punched in the face and he broke your other eye socket. You know, it's not like you couldn't see because you got headbutted and it was a bad cut, or you got, you know, you didn't get damage from a headbutt. You know, you got damage from a punch to the face. Okay, that's why you couldn't see. All right, you got outworked, and a lot of people were, predicting that. It's not like even the people like I thought Kell Brook was going to win. I thought his experience was going to win the fight. You know, I just wasn't sure young Errol was ready to fight someone on that level. But one thing that I did say, and this is the one thing that Errol was known to be better at. He has better stamina than Kell Brook. We've seen Kell Brook get tired before, you know? Um, and that's what Errol did. You know, Errol, I thought Kell Brook was winning some of the early rounds and everything like that. But Errol was, you know, playing it smart. There were times where he was coming up on Kell Brook's chest and not throwing anything. He was just wearing him out. You know, he was pressuring him at times without even throwing punches. You know, he was just trying to see if he can get in there on Kell Brook, and he did. And he took the fight into deep waters, and he was able to beat Kell Brook. It is what it is. But what he's doing right now is you're taking credit away from Errol Spence win against you. It was a legit win. Let's try not to just go and completely blame it all on the weight and everything like that. Dude, you always been a big fighter at 147. All right, you were big when you fought Sean Porter, and Sean Porter was a rough fight. You know, nobody really wants to fight Sean Porter because Sean Porter is, you know, he's a wrestler in there. He drains you. You know, the guy is just overwhelmingly strong. Like, you know, you don't want to just go 12 rounds fighting this guy, but you did it. You did it. You did a great job on using your own strength to beat him, okay? And outbox him, all right? But, you know, as soon as you lose a fight, you're blaming it all on the weight. You know, and I know people are going to come on here and say, oh, well, he just came from 160. This is why he can't. You know, I honestly believe that Kell Brook can still fight at 147. I wish he did. I wish he didn't go up to 154. You know, but now that you're up there, and you're saying that, oh, I could beat Spence at 154. Well, Spence doesn't have to, like, if I was Errol Spence, I wouldn't pay any of that shit any attention. I wouldn't pay it in any mind. Because you're at 147. Errol Spence had just won his title and had one title defense. Right? He doesn't need to chase Kell Brook at 154. Like, do what you got to do at 147. You know, if you're going to go to 154, this is after you can't make it should be after you can't make the weight yourself or you become undisputed or something like that. Like this whole, oh, you can't beat me at 154, it's corny, you know, because that kid is a big guy at 147 as well. If he goes at 154, he might even be better at 154. How do you know that he's not going to be better himself? You know, Kell Brook says he feels great. But, dude, you look great. And from what I know, you felt great when you was at 147 winning these fights. You know? Don't try to take the credit away from this kid beating you. Like, listen, people respect your performance against Errol Spence. Like, now you're trying to take all the credit by saying, oh, I was weight trained. No, dude, you got beat straight up. Like, don't go up there and just say, oh, now. No, you got beat. It is what it is. You know? It was a good fight. Errol Spence, look what he did to Lamar Peterson after you. Lamar Peterson didn't even do half as good as you did. You know? Lamar Peterson looked great. I mean, was in great shape. And he got destroyed. Lamar Peterson never lost like that. You actually did much better against Errol Spence than anybody else. Chris Algieri, Leonard Bundle, all those guys. You did much better. You know? You were actually winning at one point. Okay? Go to 154 and focus on 154. Because for right now, he's too much energy on this Errol Spence thing. Like, I know you're prideful, and I know, like, you know, you didn't want to lose that fight. You worked really hard to win that fight. But that kid went out to your town and beat you there. Okay? He gets all the credit in the world. All right? Let's not take it away because you felt like you were weight trained. You know, because if you won that fight, you would have still been fighting at 147. Let's be real. If you won that fight, you would have been trying to fight Danny Garcia. You would have been trying to fight Keith Thurman. You know, you would have been trying to fight everybody at 147. You wouldn't have went up to 154. And honestly, Radchenko, it doesn't prove shit. That fight doesn't prove anything because there are much better fighters up there at 154. You know, you fight a guy and you're lucky that Jamal's not up there. You're lucky that Andre's not up there. All right. These guys like Hurd and Charlo are tougher fights than those guys at 147, man. I'm telling you right now. I don't even think it was a great idea to go up there. You know, I think I still wanted to see the Thurman fight. I still would have loved to see a Danny Garcia fight. You know, but I'm not saying 147 is easy. You know, you got Crawford there, you got Spence still there, obviously. But dude, just move on. You're moved up in weight. Don't just fight guys like Liam Smith and think, because I know that's what's gonna happen. You know, if you're up there, fine. Now, don't, you know, I've seen the interviews. Oh, Jamel Charlo's not a top lion. All right, listen. Go up there and do what you have to do. Focus on those guys. All right, but I hope you fight those guys too. You know, I don't want to hear no excuses. You know, you fought Golovkin, you fought Spence. You should be willing to fight anyone at 154. I hope he fights anyone at 154. And if he loses, don't blame it on the weight. You know, just don't do that. You're a good fighter, but you can't be beaten. You do lack certain abilities. You don't have a great inside game, and you don't have great stamina. And this is why Errol beat you. You know, Errol was able to get close on you, and you couldn't really do much. But try to push off and move out, you know, move out of the pocket. You know, if you had a good inside, if you had a better inside game, you probably would have done better, a little bit better against Errol Spence. You know? It is what it is, you know? It was a good fight. Let's move on from that. All right? So that's it. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'll see y'all later.